Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Winback, and on today's episode of Heroes of the Storm, we're going to be playing Malganis, the Dreadlord in command of the battlefield, who is really annoying and makes people take naps, and scratches. Very similar to Diablo. Got some scratches. Anyway, this is a YouTube video, so feel free to like, comment, and subscribe your heart out. This will be the end of this week, I believe, and we will try to kick off an A through Z playthrough next week while I try desperately to play with all those characters. Anyway, this is Malganis. So, since it's a Malganis video, you're going to see a lot of the enemy team just having a nice little sleep in the middle of the battlefield. Going to be some cool knockups. There's going to be a lot of peeling done. There's going to be some, pretty wicked escapes. And if you can imagine it, a couple kills here and there. Yeah, we're actually going to kill people with a tank with gigantic bat wings and a very large and imposing presence. It's going to be really, really cool. So, ooh, do I see two people? Okay, well, no, I don't see those two people anymore. I think that my Nova might be in a little bit of trouble, but Bean Dip is going to make it out of there. Good stuff. Way to go. If you're not familiar with Malganis, our abilities are pretty simple, but also somewhat complex. So our Q is called Fel Clause. Fel Clause is a three dash button. You're going to get... Oh, God. I can't even remember how to explain it. So... the first one's going to dash, and you're going to deal damage. The second one's going to dash, and you're going to deal damage. And then the third one is going to dash and deal damage, and you are going to knock up. The third one is going to stun for 0.75 seconds. So this is Malganis' main form of mobility. There's no way he lives there, is it? There's no way. Tracer hit a recall button way too soon and fucking let the Rainer live. If that isn't a sign of things to come, I don't know what is. But anyway, Fel Clause is going to be your main form of mobility. Well, actually, I'd say it's about 50-50. Fel Clause and our E, Night Rush, are going to be two very, very important mobility tools for Malganis in both the aggressive and defensive positions. So it's going to be pretty good, I promise. Now, it's only an 8-second cooldown, Fel Clause, so you can usually get away with kind of spamming this ability. Mana is going to be a problem if you do that, but as long as you're making every use of your abilities count, then you don't have to worry too much about the mana expenditure, because Malganis is an aggressive tank. So going in, hitting people, is what he wants to do. He wants to set up some kills, and as long as your teammates aren't waking up your sleeping targets, you should be pretty okay to do that. The good news is the enemy team has fuck all for CC, except for Deathwing on their team, and unless Varian goes taunt, we're going to be pretty much completely uncontested when attacking them. So we can just dive in, dive out, do whatever the fuck we want to. Now, our W ability is called Necrotic Embrace. We are going to be on an 8-second cooldown with this ability, and we're going to deal 134 damage in a circle around us. But when we do that, we're going to get 25 armor for 3 seconds. And this is part of the reason that Malganis is so tanky, because this ability, it's on a decent cooldown. You can use it aggressively and defensively, and there's a lot of talents that are going to help us really, really make this ability shine, especially into the enemy team. Malganis really just running all sorts of at this Asmodan, and it's pretty great, because anytime that he goes for that laser, it's just like, take a nap, we'll talk about the laser later. Now, the Necrotic Embrace, though, that 25 armor is just flat armor. You're going to block both physical and spell armor, so anything that hits you in those two veins is going to be reduced by 25%. What are you doing just standing there, my mans? Damn. Looks like Rhaegar thought there was going to be a 1 versus 1 when the Rainer was in the middle of our entire team, and I don't know why he thought that. Anyway, cool stuff happening there. Our Night Rush, our E, is going to be the second form of mobility, but it's also our biggest form of crowd control on Malganis. So we're going to have to channel for 0.5 seconds, but once we do that, we get 50% move speed And then whoever we come into contact with while we are in this state is going to be put to sleep for 2.5 seconds. Now, sleep, I'm sure you're aware, but if you hit the person while they are sleeping, they're going to wake up. The good news is, if they don't get woken up, that is more than half of a mosh pit worth of stun. If you hit multiple sleep, that protector has no fucking idea where to go. And that is really scary. Just really scary to look at. That animation just blowing my mind. Tracer eating another death for some unclear reason. Lots of people on the enemy team thinking that they're safe behind a fallen gate. I'm not sure why they're just standing around attacking the protector. It's player driven there, buddies. 4 people down already, and looking like the fort is in our sights. Not even a Nova here. That was just Protector, Ming, and myself. Pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. No building, it looks like. Not ready to quite commit to that just yet. I do want to get this camp out because I don't want to go losing the top fort when we're in such a nice position with a 2-level lead. Rainer coming up to help me out. Love that guy. Way to go, buddy. Thanks a lot. Oh, right. So, Night Rush, the sleep, 2.5 seconds is, mosh pit's 4 seconds. So, if you hit somebody or multiple people with a Night Rush and they're asleep for that full 2.5 second duration, they're basically fucked if your team can line up a decent amount of damage on them. We slept 3 people there. Tracer's going to immediately recall for some reason. I have no idea why. And now we're just gonna Fel Clause our way out because mobility is king, and we do have a bit of it as this tank. It is pretty fucking cool. Man, Varian just does not give a shit. He has given up on life, taken a whole bunch of tower damage. Maybe he's having some connection problems. I feel like I'm playing against bots, to be honest with you. Just a little bit. So anyway, our trait is called a Vampiric Touch. Malganis heals for 45% of the damage dealt to enemy heroes and 10% of the damage dealt to non-heroes. So, all the damage that we're doing with all of our abilities, meaning our Fel Clause and our Necrotic Embrace and our auto attacks, are going to heal us for a bit. They're going to heal us for more against heroes and less against non-heroes. I'm just trying to get walking into the fire there. I'll tell you about it in a bit because it does. Oh no, that was not good. That was not a good ult. And our Nova's down. Oh no. Retreat, everyone, get out. We're using our Night Rush for the move speed to get away. Hopefully Ming can make it out. That's not a taunt variant, so she definitely can. That's a C-Smash variant. I'm not sure why. I just don't get it. Anyway. Where was I? Oh yeah. So the build is going to play into the enemy team and then Necrotic Embrace talents, and I'm going to tell you about those, and it's going to be really cool, and it's just going to blow your mind, I promise. So, our Vampiric Touch, though, for the amount of healing that we get kind of passively, we can get a lot of healing from lane, we can get a lot of healing from team fights. There's just a lot of ways to get healing with Malganis, and that is the other reason that he can be so tanky. So it's not necessarily that his max health pool is the biggest of the tanks, but it is definitely one of the most refillable and the most easily refillable. We can just dive under towers, honestly, because we have so much armor and so much health. Buddy, oh, and then Deathwing just dropping in, thinking this is okay to do this. Now he's going to, okay, I guess he just wanted to lose half his health bar before he ulted out. Kinda silly from the big dragon guy, you know what I'm saying? Now, the ults for Malganis are both quote-unquote pickable. The more that I play with Carrion Swarm, the more that I hate it. But, again, if you're playing against a team with 0 CC, like the one that we're playing against right now, you can get away with either ult very often. And the reason that I've taken Dark Conversion instead is because the cooldown is 40 seconds shorter. Yes, that's right. It's a 60-second cooldown compared to a 100-second cooldown. And you can see we just robbed Asmo of his entire fat health bar. I cannot tell you how good that feels. Just the big boys hanging their bellies out, and you're just like, you want to switch spots? I don't know how many people I've killed with Necrotic Embrace so far, but it's really fucking cool. That also feels really good. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. 8 kills so far on the main tank with 0 deaths. I love it. Whitemane and Malganis feel very good together too. Like, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Actually, a lot of good peel coming from this character as well. So if I see anybody go on top of Ming, I can just turn tail immediately onto her with my Fel Clause and then rip a sleep that will just stop that attack immediately. Especially with us having this level advantage, it's almost impossible for her to die. It's really nice. Carrion Swarm, it's a 100-second cooldown though. It makes you completely invincible and you do a little bit of damage and you heal for a little bit of damage. I don't feel like it is as good as everyone thinks it is. I don't. I think it's a die vault. I think it's probably going to do some damage to clumped up targets, and you can heal a lot against clumped up targets, but it's kind of just like, I don't think either of the ults is very good for Malganis because of the amount of wind up on both of them. So if you're playing into a team that has CC, like a team that can draft against you, you're gonna be kind of fucked, which is, you know, it's bad. CC is a huge counter to Malganis, and unfortunately, there is a lot of CC in the current meta. So, anyway, all that being said, oh no, we're going to lose our Rainer. Nothing we can do to save him there. Just going to try to sleep some people and get away. White Mane still in the back here. Got to try to make some space for her. Is Tracer going to die to the Necrotic Embrace? That has got to be at least the 4th W kill I've gotten all game, and I absolutely love it. Doing some more sleeping, getting that variant away from boys, and now we got to leave. We just got to go. Everything's fine. So our build is going to start off with Time to Feed. Now, Time to Feed typically isn't going to be your #1 pick here. The reason that I didn't take it into, or I didn't take Wing Guard into their team is because of Tracer. And then obviously the Bloodlust, now that I can see it, is going to eat through those block charges really quick. So I don't want the enemy team chewing up all the block charges and then making that talent useless. So I pass. The cool thing about Time to Feed is that we're going to hit 79 healing when damaging a nearby hero. This healing is doubled if they're damaged by Fel Clause. This can occur once every 6 seconds. So we get a lot of healing when we hit with our Q, and we can also activate it with our W. If there are multiple heroes around us, we just hit that W, get a whole bunch of healing from a lot of different sources. It's really, really cool. Are we just going to take out the Varian for free? He is protected. He's got the Bloodlust, but it wasn't enough. It was too late, and now we can get feared into the wrong part of the map. I am in trouble. No, I'm not actually in trouble. I never was. We're just using the movement speed to get back over to Deathwing here and give him a little slap and tickle on the backside. Oh no, I'm being body blocked by a Rhaegar and a dragon. I don't think I want to be here. My team has decided to leave. They have left me for dead. I don't think the enemy team realizes what trouble they are in. Do you like that? Do you like me getting all of my health back from that Rhaegar who was full health? Because fuck that. I'm not gonna kill anybody, but my god, are my bits nice and toasty. Toasty warm, running away. Deathwing's gonna launch up into the sky. Good on him. He knows that I can slap him to death, so. This character is such a playmaker. He's so stupidly cool to play. I know he's not necessarily, he's probably in like the C to D tier of tanks at the moment, but my god. If you play this character and you play him well, you know what it feels like to just crush people's dreams. And that's Dreadlord. I mean, Dreadlord fantasy, all about it. So let's talk about our level 4 talent since we're wasting so much time. Fueled by Torment. While Necrotic Embrace is active, Malganis is going to get 21 healing when damage is taken, and Vampiric Touch is going to convert 20% more damage into healing. So not only are we going to get 65% of healing on our abilities when we do damage to people, but we're going to heal every time that we take damage while Necrotic Embrace is up. So it is a 3-second armor, and the amount of ticks of damage that Tracer does with her autos, Deathwing does with his fire and his puddle, and then Asmo does with his laser. Like, you can see the amount of damage popping off all the time. So we actually get a really, really strong amount of healing from that ability because of the amount of times that we can get hit by the enemy team. It's actually disgusting. that they're all dead on this point fight because we have a Li Ming and they don't realize that they're still 3 levels down, missing a talent, and probably just dead. But Fueled by Torment was more to counter the enemy team. Normally, I think you're going to pick Might of Sargeras, which is going to give you 50 armor instead of 25 for that 3-second duration, but this is just tech into the team, and it works really, really, really well for what they've got against us. Black Claws is what I like to pick normally. Spreading Plague is going to be good because it's going to heal you more with your passive and your later talents, but Black Claws is going to let your Fel Clause buff your auto attacks, and then once your auto attacks are buffed, they are going to do extra damage and remove armor from the character that you auto. So it is going to help your team hit targets a lot harder. It's going to let you hit a lot harder, and you're actually going to heal for more with your trait, even on top of that. So this is a really, 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 really good talent, I think, just all around. Our 13 talent's called Blood Rush. Getting movement speed, we're going to get 1% movement speed for 8 seconds, up to 15%. This is going to stack. Oh my god, Deathwing, did you not remember all those other times where I just pushed R on you? You got to stop your Q, and I mean, he's probably just, he realizes the game is over for him by now, I have to assume. But movement speed on a tank, really, really super important for you to dip, dive, duck, dodge, and oh, Nova's dead. Bummer. But that 15% can come in real clutch, and considering how often Malganis heals himself and gets healed, you can have lots and lots of movement speed. That is the condition for getting the movement speed on the talent. Anytime that Malganis is healed, he's going to get 1% move speed. It's good stuff. It's very, very, very strong talent. And then, again, move speed is always really, really good on tanks. The other 2 talents are less good. I like the Night Beckons just because you can do some big, fancy burst damage occasionally, but Blood Rush is still the way to go. 16, we've taken Frenzied Assault because we have Black Claws. Normally, I like Blind as a Bat because it is another mobility tool, really good for like point control, really good for getting in and out of bad situations. But Frenzied Assault, we're going to get an additional 50% healing when we auto-attack characters who have a higher health percentage than we do, and characters with a lower health percentage than we do are going to give us 35% more attack speed for 2 seconds. So we can just stand there and scratch people to death and get a whole bunch of healing and a whole bunch of just dueling possibility with this character. So I do like this talent a lot, but normally you're going to take Plague Bats, I guess, if you're looking for more of a meta build. Plague Bats hits multiple people, so it can, technically, this is the best way to proc your level 1 talent, your Time to Feed, even though you normally want to be aiming your Q on that instead of your W. And then at 20, we've taken Vanquish the Weak. He trampled through my Fel Clause and then walked away. What a god. That Asmo. I can't even tell you. No. That's it, we lost the game. The game's over. That man has showed me his full balls, and I did not recover. I'm just completely mind-fucked. I'm sorry. That's the end of the video. You can unsubscribe now if you need to. I understand. Holy shit. Can't imagine. He's flying. He's flying away. He's just going to get a little bit of health back. But Vanquish the Weak is going to give us additional damage on Fel Clause and basic attacks. No, not damage. It's going to slow. Buddy, do you remember? It was literally less than 5 minutes ago. Do you understand? God. And you're going to rip the fear and miss it, too. Okay. Must be first time Deathwing. It's got to be the only reason I could think of that he would just be running at us so hard. That's nuts. But the 25% slow on Fel Clause and our auto attacks, really good, and they're going to couple really good with the Black Claws that we've taken earlier on. And then not only that, I believe, oh god, what else does it do? So it slows, and Ming got the MVP. Ooh, but I saved her so many times, game. Please. I've done so much for this team. It's okay. My team knows who the real winner is here. I voted for the Rainer. He did a lot of soaking. He did a good job. And he got out of that Tracer gank that one time, which was pretty impressive. 10-0. My God, it was just a stomp of disgusting proportions. Vampiric Touch converts 10% more damage into healing versus slowed heroes. That makes sense. Okay, so the other thing to remember with this build is that you have an additional amount of trait healing. So let's see. So when your W is active, you're going to get 65% more. So if your W is active and then your Q is also hitting people, or they're just slowed at all, you could basically be getting 75% of your ability and attack damage back in the form of health. I think that was it. These are the only, those are the only two talents that buff our trait, but it is a lot of healing with those two together. So you could probably survive some sticky situations, again assuming that there's not a trillion methods of the enemy team CCing you to death. You can basically ruin games with Malganis. It's really disgusting how strong this character can be in the right circumstance. So he's a little bit super niche right now, but that's obviously no reason not to play him. You just got to keep an eye out for the good drafts that he goes into and hope that some of those meta picks fall off into what you're playing against. But the build, again, in case you need it: Time to Feed, fueled by Torment, Black Claws. We've got Dark Conversion because it worked so well against Deathwing and Asmo. Then we've got Blood Rush, Frenzied Assault, and Vanquish the Weak. If the enemy team had opted for a taunt variant instead of that bitch variant that they got, this game may have gone differently, and we may have actually died a couple times, but I don't think... What the hell is this? I have never seen so many trait talents on a Rainer build. That is jackpot, man. Way to go. You did it. You won a game with this. That's insane. I don't even know what all these talents do, but they match. So, fuck yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. We'll start... we can start the A through Z playthrough, the challenge, the whatever. Someone mentioned it a while ago, and I'll start picking that up. But in the meantime, thank you so much for hanging out. If you made it this far, I will see you next time. GG's. Peace out.